Good evening, Munchie Mafia. Happy Sunday, and I'm sorry to say that the grocery stores failed me. So, in order to get all the ingredients for the Mystery Wheel of Misfortune, it meant going to the other grocery store, which I had intended to do. However, I had a really, really brutal week at work. I have a very, very intense and physical job, and I was hurting so much that I just couldn't. I just couldn't function this morning. Um, so I didn't make it to the third store, which is down at the bottom of the hill. So we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to show you my family's favorite recipe. It's a chicken and rice casserole. So let's get to it.
Somewhere in western Washington, there is a cozy century-year-old kitchen in a tiny historic mining town deep within the shadows of Mount Rainier. It's where the Munchie Mafia meets on YouTube every Sunday night for an hour of magic, mischief, and mystery with the colorful wheel of culinary misfortune. A kitchen which weaves a little magic over a cast iron pot upon a stove. The townspeople thinks she's a little strange, but she pays no mind to the subdued whispers as she passes by with her ginger familiar following close behind. A little dash of love here, a tiny pinch of passion there. With the stirry stir of the wooden spoon, she mixes flavors that soothe the soul. The wheel goes round and round, stopping at one ingredient at a time. Some are winners, some are losers. Who the fork suggested Twizzlers? Oh, 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 you're going to hell for that one. Like and subscribe to Munchie Mafia Official and fondle that little bell icon. You may or may not receive notifications. YouTube features are so bipolar. Oh, thank you for coming, dear friends. Oh, 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 round and round and round. A whiskey whisk of mystery, a stirry stir of mischief, a bakey bake of whimsy, and some laughy laughs. Go get yourself a drink, get some tasty snacks as we get this dumpster fire started. Oh, 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 round and round and round. With the flick of CV's wrist and a wave of a mystical wooden spoon, let's brew some magic together with all these twisted ingredients that all of you chose. And whoever suggested those damned Twizzlers, oh, 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 you're going to hell for that one. Hashtag blame Tiger, as Chef CV says. Oh, 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 oh. Cook with love and eat with passion. Live with desire that's deep within the confines of your soul.
All right, so we're back, and sorry we're late. We're having some technical difficulties with our router. We had to actually restore the firmware to factory default and then go and re-upload the new update. It's just been a comedy of freaking errors all week. It's like, oh my God. So hello to Katie's Kitchen and Demoose and Tiger and Dez and Lance of Sleeper Barbecue. Let's see here. Yeah, and my tablet wouldn't charge. I got a dead cable, so I'm having to read this on my phone. So, and my glasses are in the car, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Hello, Greg, and Simon of Yes I Can Barbecue, and let's see here. Who else do we have? Eastwind Farms and Taco the Chihuahua. And let's see here. Jester Jafar Boob Stomper. What a name. And Viper is here too. And Drunken Chef Barbecue is here. And David Bennett. And Canadian Family Life. Tiffany. Hello, hello, hello. And we also have Devil Dog. And I'm going to set this down. And that's it. All right. Welcome. All right. So I've got my skillet here. We're going to give it some oil. It's been preheated. So we'll just load that up with some oil. And we got chicken. This is 3 really huge ass breasts of chicken. I don't know what the hell the deal is. It's like chicken breasts were about the size of a small turkey breast. All right, move that oil around a little bit. Now we're gonna just get this all nice and sauteed. So I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, last night was really rough. I honestly felt like I needed to go to the emergency room because I was in so much pain from Thursday. Thursday was just absolutely wretched. Because once every 4 to 6 weeks, I get this huge ass delivery, and the driver drives the truck up to my porch and opens the truck, pushes all my product to the end of the semi, and basically it's up to me and 2 inmates to unload this whole damn thing. And it was like about 3.5 tons worth of product, and the heaviest box there was like 60 pounds, and the lightest box was like maybe 1.5 pounds, but a majority of it was like on the average 25 to 40 pounds. That's how I ended up getting injured a while back. Got run over by an inmate trying to help me unload that damn truck. So both my arms, I just wanted to cut my arms off last night. I was just laying there crying. We've got some cannabis infused pain gel, and so it's got THC in it. And I was at the store yesterday looking for stuff, and I texted Timmy. I go, am I supposed to feel like I'm high right now? But it took the pain away for about 6 hours. But then 2 o'clock in the morning came along, and it's like, oh my God, I wanted to just, yeah, it was brutal. So I've come to the conclusion that I'm not getting any younger, right? I just had a birthday, and maybe it's time for me to look for something a little less physically challenging. Because that's one of the bad things about where I work, is that I have inmate labor, but sometimes they're not so helpful, especially considering the fact that, you know, company policy is because Cisco snuck this pepper, by the way, snuck a knife into one of my products that was being delivered, and because of that, I'm supposed to touch every single box. Well, after I got everything unloaded off the truck, then it was having to put it all away, which took me a good 6 hours to put everything away, which meant handling the boxes a second time. And then a third time was having to do my inventory just immediately thereafter. So it was extreme arm day. It's totally muscular. It's just, yeah, it was just horrible. But alas, a company that I had interviewed with a while back had contacted me, and they want me to come in tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And it's a culinary director position for a luxury retirement community, not assisted living or independent. It's all independent living. It's like 55 plus. So I'm looking forward to that. So I might be going back to senior living here pretty soon um, as a culinary director, and that's definitely going to be really helpful because I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. It's like if I'm coming home and I'm in tears crying and can barely get out of my car, there's just something seriously wrong with this picture. So let's see who else has come in. Hello, Stephen and Jacqueline. Welcome. Um, and yeah, so the grocery stores didn't have the anise extract, and I'm all out of vodka, so it's like I can't make my own extract. I've got star anise in the cupboard, so and the rule is you can't buy anything more than what's on the list, even though could have just snuck it into my thing. That would be dishonest. So the other thing that I could not find was the yucca. Could not find it in frozen, could not find it in fresh. So the stores failed me, the two stores. And so another 4.5, 5 miles down the road from there is another store at the bottom of the hill that I know for certain they have it. And also the salsa Valentina, I could not find at either of those two grocery stores, which is weird because it shows on the website, that they have it, but I couldn't find it. So we're having to play around. Is that skillet completely non-stick? What coating? This is a non-stick. Yes. That's why we're not getting a good browning on it, but it's okay because this is a casserole. It is Teflon, unfortunately. I would love to find a ceramic coated one. Um, one of those ceramic coated cast iron ones would be really, really awesome, but it's like those things are damned expensive. But they're well worth it. The other thought was to just get a burner, a double burner to put here on the island, and just use my cast irons. That was the other thought, and I probably should have done that because the kids got me a gift card for Amazon for my unbirthday, so that probably would have been a good thing to invest in, but instead, I got more Cards Against Humanity because, that's just what I do. I wanted something fun instead of another kitchen appliance that I have to contend with. It's like I got so many kitchen gadgets. I'm a whore for kitchen gadgets, bowls, ramekins, and spoons. It's freaking crazy. All right. So there's a lot of liquid in this. So we're going to strain some of this out. Or maybe not. Yeah, these chicken breasts were freaking huge. So we're doing my meal prep that I usually do for the week. Because I don't have the opportunity to come home from a 8-hour job. Hey, Oracles, welcome. I don't have that luxury of having an 8-hour a day job. So I don't have the opportunity to cook because by the time that I get home, I'm usually trashed. And not trashed as in I had too much to drink. Trashed as in I just did too damn much. Like I said, this is an extremely physical position that I have, and I'm just over it. And then on top of all of it, it's like all of the micromanaging that's happening. It's like crying out loud. I got this email, and I'm like being shamed for going into overtime when it wasn't overtime. It wasn't overtime at all. Publicly shamed. I'm really kind of pissed off about that because I wasn't in overtime. What it was carryover because they didn't pay me for the previous week on my overtime, the 6.5 hours of overtime that I had because I had to train a new person, right? So I'm a little pissed off about that right now. But so I'm over it. It's like, you know, I'm gonna go and see what this is all about with Solstice and then go from there. But I had interviewed there a while back. I had to actually do a working interview, which was I had to cook an egg. I had to prove that I can cook an egg, and also cook my signature dish and also a signature salad. And they were impressed by it, so I was a little upset because I was like, how about if you pick all the ingredients, just pick a bunch of random shit for me to cook and see where I can go with it. How about that? Make it challenging. Oh no, we don't do that. I'm like, really? That sucks. So Ninja blenders. Yes. Ninja blenders are pretty cool. Mine is not a Ninja blender. It's a Vanaheim. They don't even make them anymore. And it's like it sounds like a jet plane taking off. All right, so now we're gonna add our onions, and these are a nice little fine dice. We're gonna stir this up, give it a stirry stir, and mix those together. I just went in and just kind of took the spoon and just kind of chopped the chicken up a little bit smaller bits. I got the rice already on the back burner on the stove. I should probably check it here real quick, see where we're at. Oh yeah, that'd be done. Done. All right. So, oh my God, that was funny. All you see is this banana passing in front of the overhead camera by the stove. That banana, kitty, banana. So if you've not checked out Katie's kitchen, go check out her community. She posted a picture of the mystery random thing that for the one giveaway that we did. The other one is going to be at the beginning of September when we got enough people to run the zombie race or duck race or whichever. All right, so there's that. So I'm kind of looking forward to going and hanging out over at Solstice tomorrow. That's at 1:00. Maybe I'll pop by some of my old stomping grounds because it's in an area where I grew up, known as Burien, which is like a suburb just outside of Seattle. It used to be considered Seattle, but then it became incorporated. I think back in the late 1980s, became the city of Burien. But one of my favorite haunts is not that far from there, so maybe I might be able to go and do some fishing on the way home from work sometime. Take you on a little tour of the Des Moines Marina on my way home tomorrow. Maybe even stop off and get a bag of dicks. I know that sounds weird, but Dick's is this um, local chain of burger stands. It's been around for forever. I think the first one was Capitol Hill, right, Timmy? And then Holman Road came up, which is in North Seattle, which was really cool because it's like I lived in that area of Greenwood um, at one point in my life, and sometimes I would take the kids over there to get milkshakes and French fries, just like my dad did when I was a kid. Um, it was always milkshakes and French fries, but it was at another burger chain that's hardly around anymore. It's known as Arctic Circle. Um, then there's one in, I think, Butte, Montana, still, and one over in Moses Lake, Washington. And anyway, stop off and get a bag of Dicks. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll have to be sure to charge up my Insta360 X4 camera and go do some 360 footage. And so keep an eye out. That'll be over on Off Topic Squirrel. I'm still trying to figure out how to work that camera. Okay, so now our onions are nice and translucent, or at least semi-translucent. Now we're going to go in and we're going to add mushrooms, and we're going to add copious amounts of mushrooms because I love mushrooms. We're just going to fold those in. And Bago Dick's. Yes. It's the place is called Dick's Drive-In. If I hadn't said that yet. Dick's Drive-In, and the place is just it's a staple in Seattle. You know, it's oh my god, it's like, you know, all they serve is burgers, fries, milkshakes, and fountain drinks. And there's no variation whatsoever, really. You can't go and special order something. They don't have gluten-free, unless, of course, they recently started doing that. I know that some people were like, well, why can't we have gluten-free? Why can't we have vegan? Why can't we have a vegetarian burger? Because it's like when we're up in the U District or up on Capitol Hill and we're out partying and that's the only thing that's around that's open late at night. Why can't we have something that we can get for a late night snack too? It's like, you know what? Just take that nonsense somewhere else. You know? The reason why they are able to keep their prices low still is because they have limited inventory. They don't have 50 gazillion items on their menu. They don't have 50 gazillion ingredients that they have to contend with. They just have just basic bitch burgers, and they're just so divine. Hey Nora, welcome. We are making chicken and rice casserole. This is one of my family's favorite meals because there was a snafu with 2 grocery stores that are up here on the hill. They were missing some of the ingredients that I needed, and I just couldn't make it to the store today for a second trip because going to the store involves a half hour one-way trip just to get to the store. Because when I say that we live out in the shadows of Mount Rainier, we literally live in the shadows of Mount Rainier. All right, so now I'm just going to take some butter and we're going to get that to melt. That will hopefully, you know, give those mushrooms a little bit of love too. Now, the only reason why I'm doing this in a skillet is so that we actually have a better view of the stuff cooking than on the stove. Trying to figure something out, even if it means putting an articulated arm Oh, that's an idea. An articulated arm on the ceiling. Huh. What would happen if we did that? What would happen if we put a thingy just like what we got here over here and put another arm up there what like that arm that I've got? I don't know what I'm thinking. I try not to think these days. Okay, yeah, you're right. Elon would approve. Butter does make everything better. You know what else makes everything better? Bacon. Bacon. So, sometimes I do put bacon in this. I just didn't want to this time around. What I usually do is I'll cook my bacon in the oven on a sheet pan, and then instead of using the butter, I'll use the bacon fat. Hello, sharing my opinions, and welcome. I don't think we've seen you here before. Hello, Daisy May. Michael? Oh, it's Michael. Oh my God. Hi, Michael. Sorry. You change your name more than I change my underwear. Not really, but maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see the icon because I'm running off of my phone right now. Okay, so now we're going to just add a little bit of flour. Just a little bit. I figure that's probably 6 ounces of butter because it wasn't a full stick. All right. Stir that in. Let's see where that lands us. Hello, Icky. Welcome. We're a pretty inclusive group. We love people of all ages, all diversities, cultures, gender, sexual orientation, etc., etc. So this is a safe space for people to come and meet new friends. Hey, Joey, welcome. I didn't check to see if you were out bowling last night. I was too busy curled up in a fetal position last night. So if you like bowling as much as I do, got to go check out Check MP, also known as Joey. All right. So we got our mushrooms, onions, smoked garlic, and chicken, all nice and cooked off and happy. So now we're going to deglaze the pan with some marsala. It's going to be probably, I'm going to get it really drunk. And we're going to just give it a stir right on in there. And of course, we're going to use Jim Baldridge's secret seasoning. Katie. Oh, Katie. Katie. Huh? Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with her. Just messing with her. Yeah, it's been here the whole time, Kitty. Where have you been? Oh my God. So, for those that are new or have never been to one of the lives to hear the story about the banana, because I can't unsee that visual in my head anymore, I like to share that story, and it's called oversharing. Okay, so cream cheese, 1 brick of cream cheese. Okay, so this is like not for people with lactose intolerance like me. So we're just gonna let that get all melty. So anyway, the whole thing with the banana is I work in a jail. I work in the Department of Corrections as a culinary director. And oranges were looking kind of ugly. We go through oranges. We go through about 6 to 10 cases a week of oranges. On the average, about 8 cases of oranges a week. And they were looking really ugly. So I figured, well, you know what? If I'm throwing away a third of the freaking case, I might as well just, spend a little less money and buy 40-pound boxes of bananas. Everybody was loving the bananas. They were like all just so excited. And they looked forward to bananas because I would get them and would have the assistant serve them out over the weekend when I'm not there, And they were just being really happy about the fact that they were getting bananas. This went on for a couple months, and all of a sudden it's like I'm walking in. It's my Tuesday. I hate Tuesdays. I hate bloody frickin' Tuesdays. And here we are, walking in with my coffee in hand, my sling bag over my shoulder, saying good morning to all the CEOs and just joking around with them a little bit. And then next thing I know it's like, I got a question for you. I'm like, well, okay, so maybe I might have an answer for you. And Worcestershire sauces. So this is almost kind of like a chicken casserole meets stroganoff of sorts. And that's where that flavor comes from, is that Worcestershire. So now we got this going. So so I asked her, so what's up? And she's like, well, are bananas going to be a regular thing? I go, well, I got them because we were throwing away so many damned oranges, and oranges were looking really crappy. And I know that we can't do apples because most of the inmates either have really bad teeth or they have no teeth at all. And I'm not going to go and chop up apples. And so, what are you smirking about? Oh, anyway. So, wash your sister sauce. Yes. Wash my sister sauce. So, here we are. She's like looking at me. She goes, well, there's a problem with the bananas. I go, okay, so what's the problem? And so here we are. She goes, well, some of the inmates are doing things with their bananas. I'm like, oh, okay. So what could they possibly be doing with their bananas? Are they throwing it at people or smashing it all over the units? What are they doing? Flushing them down the toilet, flushing the banana peels down the toilet, causing floods. What? Oh, chicken broth. So we're going to start out with a cup of chicken broth. So this will help to give that sour cream a little bit of a loosey-goosey texture. And so, and she's like looking at me, and I'm like looking at her, and I'm like, what? Not fully grasping the concept of what she's trying to tell me with body language. She goes, they're doing things with their bananas. I'm like, I don't understand. What are they doing, right? Never in my life did I ever expect her to tell me that some of the inmates were using them for self-pleasuring themselves. Just trying to keep it, PG-13 rated here. So self-pleasuring with bananas. And it took me a while to figure that out. This is tarragon and Italian parsley. Foldy fold, stirry stir. And so I'm like, great. When I finally got it, she's like, you can't be that dense. I go, apparently I am. And so here we are. I'm like, no way. And so I had to stew on that for a while, and I thought to myself, I cannot be the only person in this world that's going to have to live with this visual for the rest of my mother effing life. So I texted She Cooks and Roasts, and I told her all about it, and she sent me back this voice text message back, and it was pretty freaking hilarious. And so that's what happened. That's what the whole banana story is all about. So now it's become this running joke about bananas. Yeah. Banana booty bandits of Block B. I think it was actually cell block D, but yeah, or D. D is in dog. Or C, one of the two. Whichever ones are locked in single cells for hours on end for a majority of their day. Okay, so now we got that. And I forgot to grab spoons again. So here we are. No more bananas. So now they're upset. All right, so we give it a tasty taste to see where we are in flavor. And it's kind of bland, so we're going to give it a little bit more of this Jim Baldridge, because you can never have too much of this stuff. This stuff is just freaking amazing. Okay. And I'm going to give it a little bit of sour cream as well. Should give it some of that acid that it so desperately wants, and it just queefed all over my arm. Yuck. So, yeah, the banana booty bandit. So that's the story. So now all of a sudden it's become this running joke at the jail. It's like I didn't hear the end of it for at least a couple weeks. Ranks up there with the time one of the inmates peed in the dish pit instead of going to the bathroom. Hey, Oyster, welcome. All right. Give it a tasty taste. Oh my God, that's so good. But you know what else it's missing? It's missing. And watch, everything's gonna come tumbling down at me while I'm looking for it. There it is. Old Bay. Gotta have some Old Bay. Gotta have some Old Bay to go with it. It's just missing the mark somewhere. Alrighty, Roo. And there's that. And then we're going to add some frozen peas that have been thawed out. Just to add some more color, and because if you don't like peas, you don't have to put them in there. You can definitely put broccoli in it though. Little bits of broccoli. Oh, it had a Ziploc baggy thingy on it. That probably doesn't close properly because it's a store brand. Store brands are not known for you know what? I'm just going to add the rest of the peas to it. This is a great way to stretch a meal, is to throw in lots of vegetables, especially if you have children that are really super duper picky and you need to hide some vegetables. It's an easy way to do it. One of the easiest ones to sneak in is cauliflower into this dish. Problem is it smells like farts. So if you're going to use cauliflower, chop it up into little teeny tiny bits. But usually kids don't really notice the vegetables so much. Now, if you were going to throw Brussels sprouts in there, that would be another story. They're going to be like, ew, gross. But just use what you got, because groceries are damned expensive. Just went to the store yesterday and couldn't find stuff, so I'm like, okay, so I'll just get my meal prep stuff for the week and then just hop on down to the grocery store today, over to the other grocery store today, and get the rest of what I need. And that didn't happen either. So, all right. So there we have that. I'm just going to let that heat up because we just incorporated really cold stuff in there. Got a stem in there that I don't like. Okay. So how are we doing so far? Okay, so Stephen and Jacqueline apparently don't like cauliflower. You put bell peppers in there. You can definitely put bell peppers, or even spicy peppers. Maybe even some tomato. And you can do so many things with this, whatever you got. And anyway, so the grocery bill for yesterday was $148 for 3 bags of groceries. And I'm like, what the hell, man? It's like you have to like sell your kidney or something in order to, make ends meet anymore. Just a little more salt. You can always add, but you can't subtract. So this meal here was something that my former husband, Scott, who passed away a few years ago from a heart attack. We remained good friends after our divorce. Co-parented our kids together. He would make this all the time. It was like one of his favorite things to make. So this is kind of a subtle nod to Scott. Perfect. Hot though. All right. So now we're going to just unplug that. Here, can you unplug that from that? Move this out of the way.
Turn it off first. No. Don't do that again.
Sorry. All right. So now we're going to get the roaster pan. And we're going to transfer that all over to here. We might have to add a little bit more liquid to it to go with the rice. So there's that. Have a little bit more surface area so we can stir the peas in there a little bit better. And now I got my rice. And this is just plain Jane, plain Jane jasmine rice. Rinsed it out a few times, put it in a pot, got the water boiling, capped it off, put it on low and slow until done. And as long as you fill up your water to your knuckle and your pinky, you set your finger on top of the rice gently. Don't sink it down in there, and fill it up to your knuckle and your pinky. That's enough water. I got a piece of herb stuck in my teeth. All right. Oh, there it is. All right, so now we're going to take another nice thing about having a stainless steel kitchen island is I can take a hot pot or pan that's been sitting here or sitting on the stove and set it directly on there without having to get a trivet. Because sometimes some of these things will crack tiles if you got like ceramic tile countertops or something like that. All right. So rice is sticky, and that's what we want. We want it sticky. We're going to just mix it all in there. You can also put carrots in there, but I don't like carrots unless it's in carrot cake, or I'm really in the mood for candied carrots. It's whatever you got. So last night we had soft tacos. We made tacos, and those were really good. So football season is coming up soon, so we're going to be doing some other stuff, some more game day dishes. Should you guys be interested in that? Although I do have, last season's chicken wing and wing sauce recipes in some playlists. And so if you're into wings, they're great wings. But I'm missing some of the recipes for my wing sauces, so I'm going to be doing some of those other ones. Because I don't remember who they were interested in my Jamaican mango wing sauce and my Carolina honey mustard barbecue. So those are coming up. All right. Then we're going to top this with some cheese because, we need more cheese. Because if I'm going to suffer with lactose intolerance, I might as well do some real suffering. Maybe I'll take my mind off of how bad my freaking arms hurt. Even hurts turning the spoon. All right, and Cards Against Humanity had released a new expansion set, and it's a different way to play Cards Against Humanity, which is very much similar to. It's very similar to the way that we play it, where you fill in the blanks. But it has a couple spins to the game that we don't have. So I'm looking forward to showing you all that one the next time. Hey, P Digits, welcome. So we're going to try to incorporate that into the next game night, first Sunday of the month. Now, do you guys like the double feature? Where cooking's at 3:00 and then Cards Against Humanity's at 6, or would you prefer to see it on different days? Where cooking is at its regular time at 6:00, and maybe put Squirrel back onto a different day. I think we were doing it on Saturdays. Which do you guys prefer? Let me know. Okay, so now we got this all stirred up. And I can already tell you that this is going to be a little on the dry side. So we are going to add a little bit more heavy cream to it. We're just going to pour it over the top. Stir it up. We don't want it. Kind of almost looks like a risotto of sorts, but not. The risotto doesn't have cream in it. It's stock. So let Cindy Lou try it. No. Although she's laying here. She's thrown herself on the floor in protest at my feet. Okay. Maybe we're going to put a little bit of chicken broth in there too. We're going to add just a splash more chicken broth because it will thicken as it bakes. So I'm only going to bake it for a short period, just long enough to get the cheese to melt on the very top. And this is a very simple dish. And this is for 2 people. This is my huge roaster pan. Like I said, you know, I'm doing meal prep for the week. This is, 4 meals, 5 meals, maybe 6 meals. If I can keep it in the dish instead of throwing it all over the counter. All right. Plus the rice will also absorb some of that liquid. Okay, so now cheese is optional. You know, you don't have to put cheese on there, but we're putting. I got to get rid of the rest of that Monterey Jack cheese, so we're gonna use what's left of this cheddar cheese. Just dump it right on top, and then what's left of this Monterey Jack cheese. Got too many bags of cheese. All right. Monterey Jack cheese is always very clumpy, so now we're just gonna go and spread it all out and see where we land. It doesn't have to be a lot of cheese unless you like it so cheesy. This is why I say this is great if you got picky kids that eat nothing but chicken nuggets and Kraft macaroni and cheese. Or they'll eat rice but only with some butter. You know, give it a try, see how they like this. So there we go. So preheated oven, 375 degrees, about 12 minutes. Right into the oven we go. We'll check it in 10 minutes. I got a mess right here. Okay. So, there we have that. All right. Hey, Bell Loop. All right. Complicated was the first hit song for what Canadian pop punk singer? Oh, we're doing some trivia while we're waiting. And yes, good job, Joey. Joey was the first one to get it, so 1 for Joey. All right, so let's see here. What rapper is known for having only one eye? I hope you guys try to make this because this is really a good dish. But if I were you, I would use cast iron to saute your chicken, get it nice and browned. In nonstick, it's next to impossible to get stuff browned like that. It's kind of annoying. Popeye, Slick Rick. Get rid of this real quick. There we go. Hey, Rudy, welcome. Rudy just recently had a birthday. I believe it was yesterday, right, Rudy? Yesterday? Was it yesterday? So everybody wish him a happy birthday. Or maybe it was Friday. I don't remember. No, what you heard was the parrot. Um, he's mimicking the microwave, and he's being a little bit of a dork right now. Yes, yes, that's 2 for Joey. All right. About a month before the 1994 Olympics, what figure skater did Jeff Gillooly infamously club in the lower right thigh? Jeff Gillooly. Yes, P. Digits got it. Nancy Kerrigan. All right. What was the style of pants from the 1970s that became wider from the knees downward? Yeah, Tanya did the hiring. Yeah, she hired a person to club her in the leg so that she could win. Bell bottoms. Oh, Tiger got it first. I'm sorry, Tiger. I'm having trouble reading the phone. I'm sorry, Tiger got it first. Okay, so bell bottoms. Bell bottoms it is, and it looks like Katie was the first one to get it, right? Yep. All right. So what do y'all think? Should we do the new way of Cards Against Humanity on the next game night? And it's a 2-part question. Do we continue with 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock for cooking and then Squirrel, or do we move Squirrel to Saturday? Because I believe Squirrel was on Saturday originally, or maybe it was Sunday and cooking was on. I don't remember. It's all a freaking blur anymore. Give it a try. Yeah, because it's kind of cool because it's a twist on Cards Against Humanity, but it also has some other twists to it. I forgot it out on the porch. Maybe Timmy can bring it in the house when he heads back in. But it's pretty cool. It comes with this, dice. It's got letters of the alphabet all over it, and you roll the dice, and the answer has to be it has to start with that letter. And also the other thing is that if there's more than one person that gives the same answer, that answer gets put up on this board, on this leaderboard that shows the it's called the shit list is what it's called. And they just released it a couple days ago. And the last shit list answer on the leaderboard is the winner of the game. And it looks like a really cool spin on the game, but we already play it that way to begin with. But we didn't have the dice, and we didn't have the shit list thing and stuff like that. So it could be fun. But what I need to know is, do we move Squirrel to a different day and leave cooking at 6 o'clock on Sunday? That's the question. Or do we just continue with the double feature? Yeah, hit the like button. Please. Before it was revived with Wayne Brady, who hosted the original You Bet Your Life series in the 1950s. Stickers. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Move squirrel. Okay. So it's probably for the better anyway. Do 6 o'clock on Saturday for squirrel. Taco stickers. Yeah, I need a taco sticker for the back of the Wheel of Misfortune. So, before it was revived with Wayne Brady, who hosted the original You Bet Your Life series in the 1950s. You would think that Timmy would know this answer because he's older than dirt. No, not Don Parr. You're thinking of Don Pardo? Not Ryan Stiles. The white dude. Not Jackie Gleason. The hint is these give out hints. I never pictured him as a host. He's too much of a grouch. And Joe Rogan wasn't even alive back then, I don't think. Engelbert Humperdinck? No. Groucho Marx? Yes. Belt Loop got it. All right. All right, this one's a Gen Z. This one should be easy for at least the Gen Z people. What vape brand was under fire after numerous accusations of trying to advertise their products to minors? Gary used Google. Oh, that's so funny. Got a piece of rice stuck to my finger. Oh. Yeah, it was an easy hint. What vape? Oh. Let's go check our chicken. Check our casserole. And we got melted cheese. I got melted cheese. Let's put that away. Get the oven mittens. At least I think the cheese is melted all the way through. We want to make sure it's melted all the way through, but we don't want it to get too overcooked. Yeah, set that right there for right now. Stay right there. Stay right there. Oh my God. So this pan here weighs the equivalent of a 4-inch hotel pan, also known as a 400. 600 hotel pan, if it's full all the way to the little dimple, those things can weigh an awful lot, right? Imagine having to lift those constantly in and out of the oven, and dropping them over into the thing. So anyhow, here we have it. Now, I do just deck it out with a little bit of paprika. This is also great for potlucks. And if you're really on a budget, go over to Costco and get a couple of their, cheap rotisserie chickens. This is about 2 pounds of rice. And if you don't want to spend the money on heavy cream, you could definitely use milk. Yeah, it's not going to fit in there. It's just going to fall out. All right. So just going to get a little ramekin here, because this is actually for our meal for the week. I know, right? It's so exciting, right? Yes, Mommy's got foods. Yes. And if you got these little ramekins that's got little lids on them, you cool them off before capping them off. Just portion them out, and then you just after they've fully cooled in your refrigerator, all you do is just put the cap on it, and you can stick them in the freezer, but don't put them in the oven while they're frozen cold, because you could run the risk of cracking these. So that's what it looks like. Just put a little bit of paprika on the very top, and it's that simple. So I hope you all enjoyed this live, and I'm sorry that it wasn't the live that you were looking for. Next week should be a lot easier, because I'm not having to another big load like that. I mean, literally almost 4 tons of product. Just in a lot of pain. It's like, that's why my arms are so damn big, is because freaking A, man. That's why I'm very muscular with a bare belly, of course. So I really enjoy y'all's company too. I really thoroughly enjoy, our time together that we spend on my channel, and just chit-chatting and getting together over food. It's like when we moved out in the middle of nowhere, a lot of our friends just didn't want to come out here to the middle of nowhere anymore, because we used to throw these beautiful potluck parties, at least a couple times a month, and I had like anywhere from 40 to 70 people show up. And the house is a lot smaller than what I used to live in. Not a lot of space for people to just hang out and congregate, even though we got a beautiful backyard. They just stopped coming around over the years, and some of them moved away, some of them died, several of them died. And it just kind of became Facebook friends. That's where our friendship ended, because it's like, when you move out in the middle of nowhere, it's like they don't want to come out to your house anymore. So it's really kind of, hey, Source. So it's really kind of nice to be able to, meet up with a whole bunch of really cool new friends, and friends that have been around for quite a long time. It just reminds me of that. I remember we used to just hang out in the kitchen, and I would cook these huge freaking entrees, right? Because I always told everybody, bring sides, bring dessert, bring this, bring that, and I'll take care of the big part of the meal, the big entrees. And we'd all, I'd be in here still, cooking away and doing stuff, and some people would show up early to help out. And then it was like we just stand around in the kitchen and just chit chat about everything and anything. And this is what it kind of reminds me of. I really miss that aspect of my life. But like I said, people die, people move away, people fall out of touch. Next thing you know, you're like in their friends list of 700 plus on Facebook, and that's pretty much the only interaction you ever have with them anymore. Or with me being a chef, it's like my schedule was always so iffy. It's like one day I would have a day off to be able to go to somebody's house for a different potluck or a barbecue or a birthday or an anniversary or whatever, and then only to have that change 2 hours before I'm supposed to leave, because I have to go in for a double because somebody called out. And never having weekends off, up until fairly recently. I'm still getting used to having weekends off. I've never had a whole weekend off consistently, so there's that. And so, it is what it is. And I love being around food, being around people that love food, that love to share stories, and the food becomes part of their story and part of my story because we're sharing a memory. So anyhow, yes, I'm a little high right now from all the THC gel stuff I put all over my body. So I'm a little yappy today. I'm so sorry. Not sorry. So I got this spoon here. Oh, so good. Thanks for ruining frogs for us. What? Oh my gosh. What did Lance do? Oh, I see. Okay. So anyhow, Munchie Mafia, it is that time. And I really hate saying goodbye. So let's just say a fond goodnight and a sad little toodaloo. Don't forget, cook with love and eat with passion, and see you soon.
Well, Munchie Mafia, it is that time. We really hate saying goodbye. So let's just say a fond good night, or even a sad little toodaloo. Perhaps even in a till next time. Maybe even a tad tough, and now we'll be here on our topic squirrel, because Munchie needs love too. It's been really fun with all our friends, no matter if you're old or you're new. So before you let that door slam behind you, fondle that like button lovingly, and go back to your life as it were before you hit that play button on YouTube. If you haven't yet subscribed to Munchie Mafia Official, now is that time, what's stopping you? Since you're still here on YouTube, please check in on our friend Glenn. He is our goofy and fun loving friend, lovingly known as the Moose. His channel is coming soon. Oh my, he's an outdoors man in the state of New York. He's the Moose 1829. Why does he have a bikini on his antlers? It must have been a crazy party. Thanks for coming, and please remember, as you are in your very own kitchen and cooking for your family, community, and friends, to always cook with love and always eat with passion, unless it has Twizzlers in it. Whoever suggested that is going to hell, as Chef Stevie says, stir up some magic, whiskey, whisk, and a little